Welcome to the Why Not Us podcast.
All right, boys. Episode 7, Why Not Us podcast, baby.
Rock and roll.
Yep. All right. Well, we are coming to you Sunday afternoon, I should say, after BYU coming off the Colorado win, 24-21. And we're just going to start off the episode just kind of reviewing that game, giving our overall thoughts. So we'll send it to you, Jace, and then over to my dad, and let's hear your Colorado thoughts.
So first, I want to make a public apology. The burden that we carry as diehard fans, as we are, is we tend to be the first people that others think about when watching this game. And so we usually get texts immediately. BYU starts struggling, and I let it get to me because when we were down 14-0, I was stressing, and I was starting to get the texts, and I blew up on some people. And so I want to apologize about that. Never like to let my emotions get to me, but it was kind of a wake-up call for all of us to go down 14-3 or 14-0 that quick. Was kind of a slap in the face. Proud of the resilience of the team, but kind of synonymous. Sorry, I went to Shelley. Kind of synonymous with the rest of the season. We had a rough first half and then looked incredible in the second half, and that's both offensively and defensively this week. So, but we came back and won, and a win's a win.
Amen.
Yeah. No, I like it. Dad, what are your thoughts?
Well, like Jay said, I mean, I think as we sat there and watching the game go down 14-0, just going, oh my heck, what is going on? This is not the defense that we know and love. And it's interesting to me. I think, as Jace, you were talking, I was thinking I think it's a huge compliment to our team that other teams feel like they have to roll out a whole new scheme anytime they play us, because that is a common theme. Every time we hear a game, the coaches and players like, hey, Colorado hadn't shown this all year long. They came out with a new offensive scheme. They showed some different things defensively they hadn't shown all year long. So kudos to our coaches and our players for making adjustments on the fly to be able to do that. You look at the stats from what the first quarter offense was for Colorado based to the rest of the game, and it's almost exact same number of yards the whole rest of the game after the first 8 minutes. So great adjustments by our guys in game to do that. So yeah, it was a little scary, but growth for the team all over, all positions. So yeah, it was a good victory for the Cougs on the road.
Yeah, I agree with everything there. And I think the two biggest takeaways I take from the game are, number one, it felt like we were not ready to play. I don't think schematically we had an issue on defense whatsoever. I think guys were not staying in their lanes, and multiple people on the broadcast were talking about this. Like, D linemen were not filling their gaps. The linebackers were just going on crazy blitzes. They weren't holding their gaps either. So it seemed like it wasn't a scheme issue. It was just guys were not doing their job. And you could tell immediately, as soon as the D-line started keeping their gaps, the linebackers stayed home on the spy assignments. The defense shut it down. I mean, so really happy with that. And obviously, I'm going to say this without the prefix anymore, our veteran quarterback, Bear Bachmeier, looked pretty incredible in this game. I mean, he looked like a quarterback that had played 25 games in college football. The command of the offense, the game presence, just everything. I couldn't be more impressed with how well he played.
Amen. Yeah. And let's put that true freshman, let's bury that baby in the dirt. I don't want to hear that. Should not be a qualifying statement for him after 4 games because he is playing outstanding.
If anything, it's going to start being used as a complimentary statement when people talk about how good he is. He's only a true freshman versus it being, he's a true freshman to justify any poor play or potential poor play and all that stuff. So I did hear one thing that was pretty interesting. I think it was Hans Olsen that might have said this in the after game, but you've got basically your what you call like 2-drive pregame setup. Like, you go into a game knowing that the first 2 drives you're going to run XYZ in place.
Right.
And Colorado ran those to perfection and obviously scored immediately. But once it had to be kind of a play-by-play play calling system, it seemed to be that's when BYU took over. So they prepped very well for those first two drives and got ahead very quickly. But then after the game kind of settled in and it became a play-by-play system, Jay Hill seemed to take over at that point. So I thought that was a good take. I am obviously not an analyst, and I don't know like that 100% sure. So I'm going off of what others have said, but it seemed to resonate with me with that.
No. Yeah, he did reference that 15 plays they script on what they call it. And they said they scored their 2 touchdowns within those 15 plays. So to your point, Jace, exactly that's what happened. The other thing that I heard that Kalani talked about after the game with the defense is on those first couple drives when things started to spiral a little bit, the guys tried to do too much to add validity to what Houston's saying, and then they weren't keeping in their gaps. They weren't doing their assignments because they were trying to go out of what they were assigned to do to try to slow it down, and that just made things worse. So,
yeah, and the two biggest. I think the last 2 plays of the game kind of epitomize that defensively. So you have a 3-man rush, and I don't know what Jack Kelly's assignment is on that, but it looked like he ran a delayed blitz either way. I don't know, but it seems like his assignment should have been to spy, and he kind of waited, and then rushed the quarterback. Well, the quarterback then gained 6 or 7 yards, and now we're in a 3rd and 3 or whatever that down and distance was on the last play. You watch that last play, he backs up into his spy, follows the quarterback. As soon as he breaks the pocket, Jack goes on him and causes the throw for the interception. So those 2 plays right there just kind of epitomize, like, when the guys were doing their assignments on defense, we were locked down. I mean, we only allowed 7 points for the rest of the game, which is impressive, no matter what. And especially when you have a team that spends the entire week putting in a whole new game plan, knowing we have to get up fast, because if we don't get up and take control of the game early, they can't compete with us in the long-term game, and that played out. So
yeah.
I don't know if Homeboy got a talking to prior to this game to say don't do the Sanders shuffle, but Isaiah Glasgow should have whipped that out at the last play when he got the interception again. That would have been iconic. And the first thing I thought of was they probably told him not to do that.
Probably, but that was my first thought when I saw it was Isaiah. I said, "Do the shuffle, do the shuffle,
do it," and he didn't do it. I was like, "Come on, that would have been perfect."
But awesome.
Yes, took us back to the bowl game. It did me anyway. I was like, going, here we have a repeat in the game on a Glasgow pick.
Yeah.
And anyone who downplayed the notion that wasn't a revenge game for Colorado is full of it. That was 1,000% a revenge game for them, and rightfully so. It should have been. Anybody who downplayed it is just they're fooling themselves. And Coach Prime, you could see it in his interviews. The players were ecstatic the way they came out and put it to us quick. Like, it was 1,000% a revenge game for us or for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, I agree. So the other thing that I think we had talked about maybe during the game, but once again, another game where it felt like the offense really dominated the game. We turned it over on downs early. We had the missed field goal because of, the just getting backed out of the scoring zone again. So we're a couple in most of our games, we're 2 or 3 series away in the red zone from really winning those games by a ton. I mean, we're a couple of scores away, even if it's 2 field goals and the score's 30-21, it just feels a little bit more dominating. But if you're watching the game offensively, we have really moved the ball at will in every game. So I'm pretty impressed with that.
And we didn't allow a sack again.
Correct.
Like, that's also huge, because in all honesty, in the midst of the game, you're feeling like, oh my gosh, we're getting destroyed in the trenches. And we were to start from what it felt like at the beginning of the game, but then to look back on the stats and be like, man, we didn't give up a sack is really impressive. Really impressive.
Yeah, and I can't remember the exact number, so I don't want to quote it here, but as far as our ranking offensively is a lot higher than I thought. I think we're in like the top 25 20 to top 30 on offense. Our defense is at the top, but so I think sometimes we're more hypercritical, at least I am, speaking for myself, of that offense. They really, like Houston saying, they've really played really well and taking care of the ball. I mean, no turnovers again. Holy cow. That is awesome. There was a couple scary moments there with that high snap, but we got through that. But the offense really, for all the, and I think my thoughts on it have been a little jaded by all the talk about, true freshmen, and we're going on the road. But, let's take a look at the numbers. The numbers say the offense is doing pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe one play that comes to mind, particularly just going back to the offense and especially Bear, is the fourth down touchdown that we had that he threw to Chase Roberts over the middle. Just the presence and the poise to know it's fourth down. We decided to go for it. The play kind of comes in late. We're subbing, so the ref is holding the ball, and that clock ticks down to 1 second before he snaps it. And just the poise to, even in the midst of the play clock running down, he's making sure the team's set, the play's ready to go. He snaps it at 1, and then he goes check, and bang, right to Chase in the middle of the end zone. I mean, just looks like it's nothing for him. And he did that all game, just the poise in the pocket. I mean, the guy rushed for effectively over 100 yards till his kneel down plays. So, man, what else do you need to do at this point to show that you have arrived?
Yeah.
So true. And one other thing that I actually really love that I've been watching for, especially the last 2 games, is when, in theory, when you've got a seasoned offense with a lot of seniors, you got Chase and, these players that came back from potentially going to the NFL, you always kind of want to watch their mannerisms towards a new guy or a freshman and all that. And I'm seeing LJ give him fist bumps. We're not seeing any sort of if there is a, missed throw, because he did have one that Chase missed, I just see that there's a huge camaraderie with him. He's won the offense over. They trust him. They believe in him. They respect him. They love him. And it's not this, we're just dealing with him because it's all we've got. I really do think he's won the offense over, and you can see it in the way that the players operate and their mannerisms.
Yeah. No, and after the game, they were interviewing Chase Roberts and Bear Bachmeier at the same time. And Chase was saying, hey, I should have caught that ball. The throw was there. He says, I appreciate Bear having confidence in me to come back and throw the ball to me again. To your point, Jace, is this that team camaraderie? I think you just got to build that culture, and they have that culture of trust. And, they're going to, instead of tearing somebody down, they're going to help build them up, and that builds confidence, makes your team better. I mean, why do you want to go, even if the throw was a little behind, Chase is not going to say, hey, the throw was a little behind. I should have caught it. It hit me. I should have had it. He's taking accountability for not catching the ball, not saying, well, if Bear would have put the ball here.
Right.
So, yeah, to your point, that's awesome to see.
Yeah. No, they just look good. I love that culture, the selflessness, the team. The team is there to win games no matter what, and that's awesome. The last thing I'll touch on kind of before we move on to look at West Virginia is I did see they interviewed Bear briefly, I believe, Sports Nation, I think it was Spencer Linton, asked him about the third and 17 that he ran for to get the first down. And he actually said, he goes, I'm kind of getting choked up, thinking about, but he's like, that's just the way I was raised. If the play's there and I need to get a first down, then I'm putting it all out there to get the first down. That's just how I play football. And you got to think, just back to everybody's point here about the camaraderie. When that's the guy at quarterback and he's the first one to put everything on the line for everybody, it's kind of hard not to back him.
Seriously. So good.
For sure.
But anyway, so yeah, good win. I mean, good to come back. Greg Wrubell all night naming off all the freaking stats of how BYU can never come back from a deficit in the Kalani era, this and that and the other. Glad to just shut it all up. I love Greg Wrubell, but I'm glad to just win the game, come back. We looked poised. We had adversity. It didn't phase us, and it gives me a lot of confidence moving forward. So having said that, we go in this week, Friday, in Provo to play the Mountaineers, who came off a whooping from the Utes, 48-10 in that game, or 48-14, I believe, in that game.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, maybe a team licking their wounds coming into Provo on a Friday night. Yeah, what are our thoughts on West Virginia?
I feel bad for them. You look at their history this year. They got whooped by Utah 40 to whatever. They got whooped by Kansas 40 to whatever. Like they've just had a pretty rough year. With that said, the trauma that we've experienced as BYU fans is that we typically lose games that we should win by a lot. I do not think that's going to be the case here, but that always is in the back of your mind. You want to go in and absolutely dominate these people because you should, but you're always somewhat worried that we're going to play to our competition when the time comes. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's Big 12 football. So you say that, and you look at the scores. Houston and I had this conversation. I still don't know what we've got in the Big 12 because you go from one week to the next. I mean, is Houston how good are they? I mean, they had to go to overtime to beat Oregon State. I mean, you just don't know. And then Cincinnati, beats Kansas. We all think Kansas is all that, and, and then they get beat. But I think one of the things I had the thought about that I don't want to get caught up in is as we play West Virginia, you can't compare because it's the team up north and they just put a licking on them. Whatever the result is, and I feel confident we will win that game. But if we don't beat them by the same margin, I don't want everybody to go, well, see, Utah's better than BYU because we beat them by this score. Matchups are different. Every game's different. I don't want to get caught up in that comparing one team.
100% what everybody else is going to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is, but you just can't do that. I mean, who would have thought that Kansas loses to Cincinnati at home? I mean, come on, you just – yeah, I mean, it's easy to do, and it will happen 100%. That's why I'm bringing it up, that it's a different game. It's a different venue, but it's going to be thrown out there. If we win by 3 touchdowns, we'll see. We beat them 48-14. You only beat them by 21. But anyway.
Well, and that will be, unfortunately, the first thing that happens on the internet was, well, Utah must be better than BYU because they beat West Virginia by more points.
Yep.
We'll see.
We'll see.
And like the boys always say, Kalani says the players, all we can control is the next game on our schedule.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm trying my best to buy into that and just every win is another win closer. And hopefully you just win enough games and you win the next game until you find yourself in the national championship. I mean, that's the goal, right? So, anyway.
Doesn't matter what you're ranked. If you're playing in the championship game of the Big 12, I don't care if we're not ranked. If we win the championship game, we're in the playoff. Yeah. So, the outsiders can do whatever they want, but to that point, just keep winning.
Yep.
My biggest hope is that we're healthy. A lot of players look like they got banged up. Bear looked like he was, a little off. LJ, obviously, big scare there coming off the field. Hopefully we're healthy because it's a short week.
Yeah, I was going to say that is tough even with the short week here, but I think we'll be ready to go. So we got another 8. Is that another 8:20 kickoff? 8:30 kickoff on that one? 8:30 on Friday night.
8:30, yeah. Late one.
Jeez. I think the boys will be ready to go. I expect us to dominate again, run the ball hard, and we'll see. We'll see what the injury report looks like going into this week. But good win. Looking forward to West Virginia coming up. So.
Yeah, I honestly don't know much about West Virginia. I mean, I don't know what their team is. I know they got the win against Pittsburgh in the big backyard brawl, but outside of that, have they won another game? Are they? I know they won that one. They might be 1-3 or 4 at this point.
They may have beat whatever FCS team they played, so they maybe have 2 wins. Yeah,
2 wins.
Yep. Just the one note too about the rankings: BYU did move up to 23, so. Didn't really expect much other than that, but good to see him move up a couple spots. So hopefully that keeps trending.
Yep. Yeah.
But
Slowly
yeah,
but
so
surely. it's going in the right
looking, West
direction.
Virginia only has 2 wins this season. They beat Robert Morris 45-3, but then they lost to Ohio and then
Yeah.
beat West Virginia and lost to Kansas.
Beat Pitt,
So
you
they're
mean?
or beat Pitt, excuse me, yeah. So yeah, I think they're 2-2.
Gotcha.
2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And
Okay.
they got drubbed
Well,
by Utah. Yeah.
then they got
Well,
drubbed by
2-3.
Utah.
2-3, yeah. 2-3 prior to Utah.
That's true.
Or 2-2.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, be exciting. I think with that we'll head over into our pick'ems. All right.
Yeah,
Well, like always, we'll bring it back to our college pick'ems. We'll start with Jace. He'll give us a rundown of where we stand, and then Dad will take us through each game and see what we got on tap this week.
So interesting week with the pick'ems. Houston gains another 1 point up with Gordon to tie him. So after this week, I am at 20 points, and Houston and Gordon are at 18 points.
Let's go.
That Oklahoma State spread helped me out.
So I want to make 2 points here real quick. Number one, Baylor was in scoring position at the end of the game to at least kick a field goal. I know it's not the sportsmanlike thing to do. That would have gained me a point on both of you. Yep. Secondly, Iowa, Indiana scores a touchdown to go up 20-13. The spread is 7.5. They have 3 seconds left in the game after they pick off Iowa. They run a play through the back of the end zone and kneel down for a safety to cover, so that Iowa covers 15-20. Indiana hands them a safety on the last play of the game to run the clock out, so they cover.
Yeah, go Hawkeyes.
Unbelievable is right.
Yeah. Sorry,
The
dude.
So yeah, no, you're good. So yeah, 20 points, then 18 and 18. So it's getting close. Obviously the one I lost that everybody picked, we had 100% of our voters pick Iowa State over Arizona. I was the lone wolf on that, and it was not good.
Wow.
It was not good. Arizona got destroyed. 75% of our voters voted TCU. Only 25% voted Arizona State. That was a wild game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same with Kansas. 89% voted Kansas. Only 11% voted Cincinnati. That was a big
crazy.
upset.
Yep.
Wild game at Penn State, Oregon and Penn State. This is where Gordon lost one of his points. What is that coach? He's like 4-21 now.
What do you do?
Ranked opponents.
Yes, top 10 opponents. He's won like 3 out of the last 30 games.
That's brutal, man.
I mean, the law of averages has got to catch up sooner or later. I had to go with him just because of that.
So 67% of our voters voted for Oregon over Penn State. Gordon did get his cover in the underdog with the Indiana versus Iowa State. Houston, great pick with the Army versus ECU. ECU definitely won by more than 3.5 points. And then Oklahoma State coming in clutch for me and giving me that as well. So
covering the 20.5.
Covering the 20.5. It was an easy
20
or
point. 28.5.
It was 20.5.
Yeah, 20.5 points. So it was good. Overall, great. I got to give a shout out to our, our interaction that we've had on Instagram. It's grown exponentially. We had a lot of voters this week in both the snake draft and the college football pick'em. So thank you guys for participating in that. We're having a lot of fun with it. So hopefully you guys are too.
Yes, absolutely. Keep getting on there and interacting. We love it. Love seeing people get on there and do the pick'ems with us in the snake draft. So keep doing it.
Yep.
So,
you bet.
Okay, Dad, we'll head on over to you. Give us our slate. Take us game by game.
All right. So the Big 12, we got 3 games we're picking again this week. And, you look at the games, to preface this, some of those games you go, oh yeah, that's going to be a blowout or it's not even close. And then who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, so I think our games we got here, there should be some interesting games we got. So the first one's Iowa State at Cincinnati. And I looked at that matchup and I thought, Iowa State was pretty dominant against Arizona, but Cincinnati's been a kind of a surprise the way they've, they're a pretty good team, I think. So I I'm going to be a bit of a homer here, and I'm going to go with Iowa State. But it's at Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I think, is going to give them a heck of a game, the way they're playing right now. But Iowa State looked pretty solid against Arizona last week. Their defense is pretty stellar.
Yeah. No, it's a good pick. I went back and forth. It is at Iowa State. Man, Cincinnati moved the ball all over Kansas, which I did not expect. But having said that, I think Iowa State at home, they got what's his name, Beck or whatever at quarterback. They'll show up to play. The other thing I think is Cincinnati coming off a big win on the road at Kansas. Tough to go back to back. So
yeah, but I think that game is at Cincinnati.
At Cincinnati, okay, interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I'm going with Cincinnati on this one. I think Cincinnati is vastly improved from last year. So their only loss on the record, I believe, is to Nebraska.
Correct.
And they lost by 3. And Nebraska is a pretty solid team. They beat Bowling Green pretty good. Obviously beat Kansas. It's at home. So, and I don't know what it is with my hesitation with Iowa State. I'm not bought into Iowa State being the top dogs of the Big 12 yet. They should have bought me up by now. With the win over Arizona, I picked Arizona for crying out loud last week, but I don't know what it is. I'm just not bought in on Iowa State yet. I'm not a believer. And so give me Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the one thing there before we move on to the next one with Iowa State, they have a tendency sometimes to not play well in big games. Last year there was a couple games that they could have played better in. All right. Texas Tech at Houston. So is Texas Tech, are they the best team in the Big 12? I don't know. That remains to be seen. But right now, at this point in time, I think they'll probably be considered that. But Houston has played a lot better than I thought they would this year. I did not expect to see what they're doing. So I think Houston's a pretty good team. Got to go with the home team, Texas Tech, until they prove me wrong. Otherwise, I think Tech is going to take this game. I kind of vacillated back and forth, but I just think Texas Tech at home, I got to go with the Red Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, I think their defense is probably better than everyone's giving them credit for. I mean, obviously the offense is kind of the focal point. They move the ball a lot, score points. Kind of the old, Mike Leach-esque with the Texas Tech offense back there. So, I'm taking Tech as well. I think their defense is actually the bigger one in this game. So,
Yep, give me Tech as well. Houston is a question mark, kind of to what Gordon was saying. Houston's beat Colorado this year, so it's kind of like, how good are they? How good is Colorado? You just don't know yet. But we do know Texas Tech is legit, and so give me Tech at home.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think I misspoke there. Texas Tech, that's at Houston.
Oh, is it at Houston?
Yeah, at Houston. So I still think though Tech on the road doesn't change my mind there with that one. The next one we got is Colorado at TCU, and Colorado showed me something against us. I mean, primetime, his boys, they actually came out and played some ball. TCU, I was high on TCU, but man, the verdict is still out on TCU for me because they have showed flashes like they did against Arizona State, and then they looked like crap against Arizona State in the same game and just gave the game away to them. I don't know if it was my heart, but I'm just looking at Colorado going, man, they could pull off the upset there. But I'm going to go with TCU just because it's a TCU. But I think Colorado's going to give them a heck of a game. I think prime time's going to have the old Buffaloes playing some good football.
Yeah. All the reasons you just said, I think Colorado is hungry for a win. They got a taste of it yesterday against BYU. I think their quarterback's pretty well cemented himself as the starter. They were kind of back and forth a little bit. They'll have their running backs back. I believe they had a lot of guys out in the BYU game. So I'm actually going to take Colorado. TCU question mark as well for me. I think Colorado's hungry for a win. They come out and play hard and win that one.
It's a good pick. I was going back and forth on this one as well because for the same reasons that Houston pointed out, I think Colorado is going to be very hungry for a win. This is one of the opportunities to do it. And also the reason I think that I give TCU a little more credit than maybe what they deserve is because of that win over SMU. You got a team that, was in the college football playoffs last year, and they get a win over it. So you automatically think, oh my gosh, this is a legit team. So, but it's still a lot of question marks with TCU. With that said, I do think TCU ends up winning this game. So we'll see what happens.
Should be a good game. TCU just inconsistent. So we'll find out. All right. Our national spotlight game this week in the top 20, we've got number 3, Miami, traveling to Florida State to play down there. This should be a good game. Those Florida schools, when they get together, they usually it's pretty good fight between all of them. I know Miami's ranked number 3. They're playing at Florida State down there, the Seminoles. I'm going with Florida State on this, and I'm going with the upset. I think Florida State playing at home is going to pull this one out.
Like it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take Miami in this game. I think Miami might be for real. They got Carson Beck on the transfer from Georgia. He's been playing well. He's a seasoned quarterback. They've played well in big games. Not sure how Florida State responds after the Virginia loss, double overtime. So we'll see what they're made of coming off that one. But I think I'm going to go with the Hurricanes on this one. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Miami is legit. They haven't played a ton of talent outside of Notre Dame, but I do think Miami is legit with their quarterback, like what Houston said. He's seasoned, and I'm not a full believer in Florida State. I do respect the turnaround that they've made this year as opposed to last year, but I just still think they've got a lot of room to grow, and they're not going to win this one.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. So you've got Miami.
I've got Miami.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Chalk up a point for me, man.
Yeah.
Florida State. I'm not a Florida State fan, but I am this week. So the Dogs. We got the Dogs this week. So the one I'm looking at that jumped out to me was Air Force and Navy. Anytime you've got the military academies going against one another, it's a battle because there's no love lost out there because they want to have the Commander-in-Chief trophy to go down to claim the fame. So that right now, Navy is a 10.5-point favor over Air Force. I know Air Force is 1-3 and Navy's 3-0, but I think Air Force covers that spread of 10.5 points. I think that game will come down to the wire. Most of those, once in a while, you get a blowout in those games, but not very often. They usually those things are battles royal. So,
yep.
Air Force will cover the spread against Navy.
I like it. Sorry, a little technical difficulties there on the graphic, but we got her set up. Make sure Jace gets credit for the Miami pick.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, so good pick good pick by Dad there. Go Air Force. A little close to my heart there, the old academy. So let's go Air Force. So I'm gonna go Purdue this week. I think they're 10.5-point underdogs against Illinois. I think the Fighting Illini are fraudulent. Not a good team. Purdue, they're not world beaters either, but Purdue is one of those teams every year that has a game where they have a ranked opponent come in and they just handle them. So I think this is that game this year. Illinois is not for real. I'm picking Purdue outright in that one.
It's a bold pick. I like it.
I like it.
Yep. Okay, for me, I want to set the record straight. I can't stand Boise State. I loathe them just as much, as Utah. But to their credit, Boise's recipe for success in college football is to play 11 games with nobody, like
JV squads.
Yeah, community colleges for the blind, and then have the one game in the season that they have to prove themselves. And this is that one game. And to Boise's credit, they do always come out and play decently well. I don't think they're going to win. I think Notre Dame is a legit team. The only teams they've lost to have been in the top 10. And so I do think Notre Dame wins, but I do think Boise will cover that 16.5-point spread.
I said it last week and I was
We'll see.
wrong. I was close, but I'm going to say it again this week. You can mark yourself for a 0 on that one. The Fighting Irish have been averaging almost 50 points a game lately.
Yes,
40,
they're
50
they're
points a
legit.
game, so
Yeah, they are legit, and I
Bold.
love their coach.
Bold.
Their coach is an absolute stud.
yep, for sure.
Yep. I will say, going back to the Illini, is, it's brand name recognition. They beat USC. USC hasn't been good for 4 years.
Yeah,
So to go back to you, I like your pick there, Houston,
It's a good
because
pick.
I don't think Illinois. Yeah, that's a good pick.
yeah. We'll see. Purdue always has that on their plate.
Yeah.
They have a ranked team come in and they beat them. So I think the Boilermakers will get her done.
Yep.
Hey, lots of spreads here for
Heck
the
yeah.
pick'ems.
Yes,
could,
yeah.
could be a wild week.
Could be a lot of jostling here in the
Yeah.
rankings. So love it. Okay, well, with that, we're gonna head over and do our top 3 this week. So we'll let Jace run us through the results, and then this week we will be doing top 3 mascots in college football.
So huge win for Houston this week. So we did the top 3 uniform combos, and Houston with a 60% lead with the voters, Jace at 25%, and Gordon with 15%. And surprisingly enough, the Oreo Royal was the determining factor. The way we got that is I'm showing everybody at work and everything, and we're going through and everybody's like, oh, those are sick. And that's kind of what tipped it. Everybody put kind of like what we said last week, the blackout, the all royal, and I believe was it the all navy that I had on the same category. And then the other ones just kind of fell a little short compared to the Royal Oreo. So congrats to Houston. Big win. Finally got on the board. So Houston gets to go first. The total scores as of right now, because we skipped that 1 week with Houston being absent, I have 4 points on the snake draft. Houston has 1, and Gordon is at 0. So we got to get him on the board.
That's true. Hey, but it's good. It's a start. You got to dethrone him for a start this time.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, yeah. So we're going top 3 mascots. So I'm going to take the number 1 spot. So I will send it to you, Jace, where you want to go.
I will go the number 3 spot here.
Okay. All right. I think going number 1 here, if I do not take this mascot, it will get taken, and I may or may not be playing to the crowd here, but give me Cosmo Cougar at number 1.
Oh, let's go.
I am shocked. Should I put on my shock face here?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the bias here, but I mean, in terms of stunts and PR and media, not a better mascot out there than
Dancing
Cosmo.
with the Cougarettes, he started that whole trend. He's iconic, and anybody who says otherwise is wild.
True. Yeah. Okay, Dad, over to you for number 2.
There's just no mascot that lives up to Cosmo. And I know a fan favorite out there, and I'm not sure why, but I'm going to go with it just because everybody seems to like it. Is the Oregon Duck.
Yeah.
The quacky quacker out there on the West Coast. Number 2.
Yeah.
Easy number 2.
Which I honestly don't have on my list at all, just because why?
Why? Yes,
Why?
but everybody seems to love him.
Everybody
love him.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the sign I saw at College Game Day? The Oregon Ducks hat has fallen off more time or like more times than they've won a national championship or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but that's freaking funny. Okay, give me Sparty, Michigan State.
Okay.
I like that one. Iconic. You see it, and I'm basing a lot of my picks on the second you see them, you know which team they're for. It's a no question. So give me Sparty.
I like it. Okay, Dad.
And then on the flip around, on the flip around, give me Roll Tide, Big Al.
Okay. All
Oh,
right.
jeez.
Well,
I'm going to go. I'm going way east for this one, and this one's probably not on the radar, and I'm over, so I really don't care. I'm going for the West Virginia Mountaineer.
I looked at that one.
That was on my list too.
Anytime you can fire a gun in the arena to get things going, It's pretty stellar. So I'm going with the Mountaineer of West Virginia.
Yes, I like it.
I think we're giving Houston this win. I know what he's going to pick.
Well, maybe. So I'm back between a few different ones, and so I'm trying to go. I picked Cosmo because I think he's the best in terms of just being out there and being present and doing cool stuff as a mascot. I'm kind of leaning towards, is this an iconic list? Is it this? Anyway, I think you know where I'm going with this probably. But give me the tree at Stanford. give me Fear the Tree. So I'll take that with my second pick. And then last, I've got a couple that I'm going between, just because I'm wondering like how I want to frame all this. But I think I'm gonna go Georgia Tech. Give me Ramblin' Wreck driving the old whatever model that is out onto the field. Yeah, give me Ramblin' Wreck.
Hey, he did not pick who I thought he was going to. Let's see if Gordon snatches it up. Because if not, then I've got a shot here.
Well, you got a shot because I'm going way out in left field. I'm going just for the fun of it. I'm going with the Billiken.
What? Who's the Billiken?
St. Louis, the Billiken is a half elf and half bat.
Oh my god,
that is wild.
Billiken, come on, you look it up. Put that on there on the podcast.
I will. I will put that up there.
The St. Louis Billikens. Go Billikens. Now you've been educated what a Billiken is.
I mean, that's crazy. Gordon's like, I'm losing, so might as well lose big. I don't even know what the Billiken is. That's wild.
That is incredible.
Hey, I mean, I thought it was going to get taken. You got to give me Brutus the Buckeye.
Yeah, you can have it.
Yeah, I don't know why that hasn't been taken. That is an iconic one.
You can take that Buckeye.
I thought for sure Houston was going to take him.
No.
That's one crack nut you can have.
Yep. All right, Jace, give us back what we got there.
So our list, Jace has Big Al, Roll Tide, Sparty for Michigan State, and Brutus with Ohio State. Gordon has the Oregon Duck, the West Virginia Mountaineer, and the Billiken.
Billiken, St. Louis.
The St. Louis Billiken. That is incredible. And then Houston's got Cosmo the Cougar, the Stanford Tree, and Georgia Tech for his mascot. So this will be an interesting one. I'm interested to see how the votes go on this one.
The honorable mention I wanted to throw out there, kind of along the Billiken route, was the old Hilltoppers, Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. I wanted to throw them out just for reference sake. That is a Billiken.
That is a Billiken. What in tarnation?
Once you see it, you know what it is, man.
That is insane.
I was also going to go with the Blue Devil, also an iconic one for Duke. That's my honorable mention. So,
like it, a lot of good ones. Yeah, Georgia Tech not real well known. But I think Cosmo and the Tree might take it. We'll see. Good list. Well, fellas, good podcast once again. Just grateful for the interaction we've had on Instagram and people watching and subscribing on YouTube. Please check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe over there. If you get on Instagram, you enjoy the pick'ems. Come see what we have to say about each game. It's fun to get everybody involved in that. So
challenge us too. Challenge our opinions. We want back and forth. That's what makes this fun.
Yes, absolutely. So look out for, I know we've said it, but look out for some guests hopefully coming up in the next couple episodes. We'll love to get that going, especially as we move into basketball season here in the next month or two. That'll be really fun. So, good podcast, guys. Go Cougs, I guess.
Go Cougs.
Yep, go Cougs.